I'm Johnny Two Thumb 17. This is episode 42 of my Football Manager 2018 Unemployed Challenge. And I'm going back to Russia. Our time with Nigeria has come to an end. If you saw the last episode, you would have seen that we did get knocked out of the World Cup, unfortunately. There was the African Cup of Nations coming up, but really we just wanted to be with the squad for the World Cup rotation. We did lose. You know, we could have gone further. I really think we could have gone further. That game with Switzerland really put us in a hole. But anyways, enough about that. We are back domestically with our club, SKA-Khabarovsk, in the first tier of Russia now, newly promoted. Very excited about this new season. We have a little bit of housekeeping to get to, so let's go ahead and check out the squad. So right off the bat, you'll probably notice that there aren't as many foreign players in our squad as there once was. We did go ahead and let Cuckoo, Kachu, Pinto, and Perot all walk. Their contracts are all up this offseason. I probably could have kept them, to be perfectly honest, because I didn't know that once we got to the top tier, we were allowed to have 6 foreign players in our playing 11 instead of 3, like in the second tier. But anyways, we had already made the decision to go ahead and let them go because we had some young players waiting in the wings that we wanted to give shots to. Namely, players like Sereda, Gorshkov, and Kaleli. We wanted to get these guys some more playing time, so we decided, we'll go ahead and let these guys walk. We'll replace them. We did bring in, another foreign player, which we'll get to in a second. So if we're going down the list, noteworthy players in our starting 11, we of course have to start with our beast in goal, Maximenko. Absolutely terrific goalkeeper. Lit the world on fire last season with all of his shutouts. Absolutely incredible goalkeeper. Super pumped. He's only 24 years old. If we could hold on to him for, years to come, this guy is going to be an absolute legend. Going down the list, we have next up is going to be our platoon / starting right back. Eventually going to take over for Yevtiv. Yevtiv is injured right now, so Adamov is going to get the start. We're probably just going to call him Adam. Really good, pacey fullback. He's not the greatest. There's a few holes in his game. He's only 22. He's going to have room to grow. I think he will develop into a nice player. We have Stanis, absolute beast. We saw him kind of tail off towards the end of last season. He probably had like 30 games where he was just probably the top central defender in the league. And then towards the end, we started seeing him making a few mistakes, seeing him have some mental lapses. So that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on going forward. 24-year-old defender still has room to grow. He's going to be, one of our starters for years to come, hopefully. We also recently brought in Renat Kuznetsov? Kuz. 6'4" defender, very strong fundamentals. Great in the air with that 15 heading. We're definitely going to be looking to use him on set pieces. 20-year-old defender. Again, this guy has a bright future. I'm looking forward to the pairing of him and Stanis. I know going into the season, I think we were looking at Loganov to potentially be Stanis's partner. But we discovered Kuz in one of our scouting reports, and he looks to be the player that we were hoping Loganov would eventually turn into. So I did sort of dangle this detail out in the last episode that we were looking at some players from Nigeria. One of the players that became available to us was Emeka Aja. This is a fantastic capture for us. You can see his current ability and his potential is absolutely ridiculous for this level. He's only 21 years old. He has just a super solid physical base. Really good overall around. Here are some things we would like to see raised, like his positioning in particular. But still, I think this is an absolutely wonderful capture for our squad. Again, a very young back line. They might be prone to mistakes going forward, but if they can sort of gel and figure things out, this is going to be a group that's going to, be very good for a very long time. So in the midfield, we got Pileli. You know him, you love him. He's just a consistent, solid player for us, excuse me. Nothing really stands out about him, about being amazing, but he's just a really well-rounded player. He's just going to consistently perform in that defensive mid for us. He's going to be paired up with Gorshkov. Gorshkov is going to be taking over for Kachu. Another young player, 23. He's probably not as polished as P. Lely, who, is a little bit older than him. But still, he's a kid with a bright future. He has a bit of room to grow still. We're probably going to be seeing him and K. Lely rotating in the most, and P. Lely is probably going to be the most consistent of our defensive mids. And since we mentioned him real quick, we'll just show K. Lely up here just so you can see how he is progressing. Pretty good, solid foundation. He's only 20. He has a lot of room to grow. Super excited about his future. Just taking a quick peek at him. Out wide, we have Sukov. Sukov was possibly our best player last season. Maybe the most impactful player that we had. I believe he, tied the record for most player of the match awards for the club. And I believe he also tied the record for most assists. I believe that's right. Anyways, very, very good player. His potential has fallen off a little bit, I believe. I think he was around 5-star potential before. I could be wrong on that. But he's still a very, very productive player. We're going to be expecting a lot of our offense to run through him. In the midfield, taking over for Perot is Dimitro Sereda. I keep wanting to call him Dimitri because that's what his name looks like, but it's Dimitro. Sereda, very just solid foundation to build upon. It's going to be interesting to see if he can develop and reach his potential. If he does, he's going to be an incredibly good player. I think the playing time that he's going to get this season is really going to push him to the next stage of his development and career. On the left side, we have Artie, a name that is well known to fans of the series. He's a solid performer. Looking at his, attributes, he's not amazing. He's not going to blow anybody away on paper, but he's a pretty solid performer, and that's really all we want out of him. And then we have two more players. The first is going to be our starting striker, Milicevic. I mean, just an absolute beast last year. 19 years old. He's incredible. 25 goals and 35 appearances for the squad. He had all sorts of ridiculous things, like he scored in 6 matches straight, and he's ridiculous. If he could find that same sort of form, if we can get him balls over the top that he could, be in situations where he is one-on-one with the keeper again, he's going to have great success this season. Super, super pumped about him. He's only 19. He has the world ahead of him. He's a beast. There's nothing more that needs to be said. He is an absolute beast. And then the last player we want to talk about is Islam Vagabov. This is a striker that we brought in, a 23-year-old Russian striker. Definitely not as good as Milicevic, but one of the issues we had last season was that when Milicevic wasn't having a good game, or when he did need to be rotated out, we didn't really have anybody that could come in and do anything. I think Vagabov is going to be that sort of player. He's a very good poacher. He's very well suited to that poacher role. So I think he's going to be a suitable substitute for Milicevic when we need to rotate him out. Alright guys, so we're starting off the season against Lokomotiv Moscow. This is going to be a tough match for us. It is wet out. So we might go with more direct style and passing, not sure. We went over the starters. The only difference is that we have Sekretov in for Sereda, because Sereda is coming back from an injury. But other than that, pretty much the lineup that we talked about earlier. Tactically wise, I didn't really talk about it. We're rolling out with the same tactic that we used last year. Now, I know that there are some issues with this tactic, primarily when we're not hitting balls over the top. When we have that sort of sustained possession, especially with our midfielders, we tend to settle for shots, 20 yards out, 25 yards out, and we just aren't good at converting those. So I know that this tactic isn't perfect, but being that we are sort of underdogs in this season, and that we were so sound defensively, and that this is a very defensive-minded tactic, I think it's going to play well for our aspirations this season. Milicevic with the ball over the top, an early chance, and we take the 1-0 lead. Milicevic, that is what we were talking about, balls over the top, where he could get one-on-one with the keeper. He is just so good in those situations. This is the sort of style of play that we are when we're at our best. When we can hit fast, hit those balls over the top, get Milicevic in on goal. That's when our team really shines. It's when we can't get those opportunities that you see us really struggle. But as I was saying, we're expected to be the underdogs. So for us to be defensively minded is probably going to pay dividends throughout the course of the season. Because the fewer games we lose, the better off we're going to be. If we could turn those losses into draws, that's all we could ask for this season. As, the Locomotive instantly responds there. As I'm talking up our defense, we just have a defensive lapse there. Just a really simple run of play here. Not quite sure how we fail here. A ball in. Stanis is in position. Maximenko is going to be incredibly disappointed to be beaten near post there. He has to do better. That was a tight angle. He has to cover that. So as I was saying, we're definitely, last season, we had a ton of draws, like a ton of draws. I think we set the record for draws, didn't we? Maybe it was a club record. Anyways, we had an absolutely ridiculous amount of draws. But there are times where we could push and go for the wins, right? We could push up our wingers. We could push up our midfielders. I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of that. Milicevic, a ball over the top, one-on-one with the keeper. That's classic SKA-Khabarovsk. That is when we are at our absolute best. So good. But like I was saying, we had those instances where we could push, right? I don't think you're going to see that too often this season. I think our first season here, we don't have a lot of money. We have the cap space to bring in another player. We do have quite a bit of payroll. But I don't think you're going to see us really bring in a huge star. Our sort of goal for this season, our sort of mentality is that we want to limit our losses. I know that's what you kind of want to say. Yeah, we're just going to go out and we're not going to lose a game. Duh. But, it may not be that entertaining because we're not always going to be going for the win. But if we could limit our losses and just grind out 0-0 draws, 1-1 draws, that's going to be huge for our chances of staying up this season. So that's really what we're going for this first season. As we head into halftime here, we do hold on to the 2-1 lead. Everything so far is going to plan. Now, again, Locomotive's a good team. They're winning the battle possession. They have more shots. We have been more clinical and efficient with our shooting. But it's still, this game is far from set. Really have to make sure that the boys concentrate and that we just, do a professional job and get through this game and holding this lead. So we just passed the hour mark in the game. I don't want to mess with things too much because we're playing so well, but we do have a few fitness issues. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring in Chikanchi for Artie. And then Stanis is having a really good game, but look at that fitness. We're going to have to substitute him. We're going to bring in Loganov for Stanis. I really hope that doesn't come back to bite us in the butt just because Stanis is having an excellent game. But honestly, we don't really have a choice. He's just gassed at this point. We're also going to make one last substitution here. There's about 15 minutes or so left in the game. Adam is having an okay game, but he's really gassed. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the bug for him. All right, ball in. Time is running down. Oh, Maximenko! Oh, you lovely human being, you. That ball took a huge deflection, and somehow Maximenko got his hand to it. Oh, it's destiny that we are going to win this game. It's destiny. Can you feel it? We're going to start off this season in the right way. I'm going to say that now they're going to get a 94th minute goal. We're eventually going to collect possession. Again, Bug, just waste time here. Sekretov loses possession. Ball's over the top. Going to expose us. Wow. What a finish. Okay. First of all, what is our team doing right here? Gorshkov, Sekretov, what's with the one-touch passing? All we have to do is just waste time. Second of all, ball over the top shouldn't be beating us in this situation. Third of all, that was a fantastic finish. I called it. I told you guys that they were going to score a 94th minute goal and just ruin our day. It could have been a win, but no, just that little lapse of concentration. I told you guys, I said it was going to be destiny that we were going to win. And then I was like, no, they're going to score a 94th minute goal. And what do? They score a 94th minute goal. Are you kidding me? That's the final whistle. I am tilted right now. So mad. Why can't we hold on to that? Anyways, it's 2-2. in the grand scheme of things, it's not the worst way for us to start off the season. Still, given our position and the sort of expectations for our club, to drop 2 points there is huge, because every single point is going to matter to us this season. We need to aim for about 35 points in order for us to stay up. And it's gonna be hard to get that. I'm not gonna lie. I think over the course of a season, we might be outmatched in this division. So dropping 2 points is huge. Alright guys, be sure to like and favorite the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Just recently broke 100 subscribers. Yay! We got a new URL, youtube.com/Johnny2Thumb17. So beautiful. We got rid of that huge ugly mess. Our URL is so beautiful now. So if you're new to the series, new to the channel, go ahead, give me a follow. Join the club, because why not? Why wouldn't you want to be here? Why wouldn't you want to see my face every day? Okay, not every day, 5 days a week. Sometimes, maybe 3, occasionally 1. Whatever. You want to see me. I'm very entertaining. I know I am. I mean, like I said last episode, Cristiano Ronaldo, football manager. I'm just saying. I mean, it's science. It's out there. Like, it's out there on the internet. Everything on the internet's true. So just because I said it, I mean, doesn't mean it's not true. I'm just saying, facts. Follow me on Twitter at Johnny2Thumb17. You'll get all the latest updates on there. And yeah, sorry I couldn't bring you guys the win, but still a 2-2 draw. 2-2 draw. I forgot what results are called. I'm excited. 2-2 draw. Not the worst result. Not great, but not the worst. So until next time, guys. Peasy, 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 peasy.